Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Protocol here, bringing you the final mission, presumably, of Rise of the Blood Elves created by Tomb Raider. This is In the Shadow of the Sun. And it is, in fact, playable, so that's very exciting. Epilogue, In the Shadow of the Sun. Months later, after the events of the Sunwell Plateau, under the leadership of Lorthamar, the Blood Elven nation prospered and entered into a new golden age. Many returned from Outland, embracing and rejoicing in their homeland. However, war had cost them heavily, and Lorthamar knew they would need allies. Thanks in part to his connections with Sylvanas Windrunner, a fledgling alliance is formed between the Cinderay and the Horde, which eventually accepts them under its banner. Quite the view. Showing the full glory of the Cinderay, presumably. I'm not certain about Dalaran, Lorthamar. They already betrayed us once, but if they want our support that bad, then something must have changed. I am not sure myself if I trust them. I suppose we shall see later today, once Ethos arrives. Yes, it would be best to wait. Now, Lorthamar, if you would excuse me, I have a lot of work to tend to today. Aldiel Shalah. Aldiel Shalah. I apologize for taking away your time, Leodrin, but I must be on my own anyway. On my way anyway. Awen is waiting for me. I just called him Ethos because that's how you pronounce AE names. But I've always pronounced Awen instead of Ewen, which would be more appropriate for the name based on that. All right.
May the light of the sun shine upon
we are Lorthamar. He's the only playable unit we have. The Cinderay. Maybe the Ewen. Yeah, so that's just the description from the loading screen. So I don't know if we want to take a look around and really take in the environment. It's kind of neat. Can we actually attack this? We can, just by right-clicking. So, obviously not something we want to be doing, just knocking down buildings in the middle of the environment. You know, one thing that is a bit of a shame, I think, is there's not more assets for... We're proud to be back in Silvermoon, my lord.
Does not matter to me.
It does not matter to him. You heard him straight from the lips of the horse himself.
Establish a perimeter.
Don't look him in the mouth, you know? He's a gift horse. Anyways, as we bumble into these golems. Hey, look, it's Vesper and Aurora. That's so cool. A pleasure to see you, my lord. I like the fact that this Dark Ranger is sort of behind these Rangers. It sort of gives the idea that she's like watching them while they train or something. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I don't know why that portrait is of the rocks. But I think it is a bit of a shame that there's not more assets for, like, units that are not armed with anything. Like, they don't have to be sitting around with their weapons out, you know? But unfortunately, it seems like that's just the way there's not really a lot of ready-made assets for that purpose. It would have been nice to see them without any combat-ready things, my lord. Lorthamar, you wanted to see me. I've received a letter from Dalaran, from Ethos. It appears they are asking for our support. Anarallah, again? Won't this man ever realize we don't want to hand over our Magi to them? Nevertheless, we should get going. He's just about to arrive at the Sun Fury Spire. With a name like that, you're bound to get some visitors. Lorthamar, this Silvermoon tabard... Tabard? No. You should wear it. I like, it just says no. What does it matter? Anyone in the service of Silvermoon may bear it. It is the symbol of state. You are the head of state. You should look the part. I am the Regent Lord, not the King. That is not the point, Lorthamar. You look like a Farstrider. I am a Farstrider. You were a Farstrider. You cannot ever be a Farstrider again, Lorthamar. We know that for certain now. We are going to be late, Ewan. Somebody should make some new bridge skins as well, so that we don't have to use the same wooden ones all the time. There he is, finally. Welcome home, Archmage Ethos. Thank you, Lord Theron. Would that I were returning to stay. Nice head you got there, man. I don't know why that portrait's a little funny to me. I am here on matters of utmost importance, one that concern us all. I am quite sure you are aware that both Orgrimmar and Stormwind were assaulted by the Scourge. Yes, but as I heard, Orgrimmar barely survived the assault. The Scourge's power and menace are far greater than even we first thought. I want to formalize our involvement with the Kirin Tor. It is imperative that the Magi of Quel'Thalas and Dalaran work again, side by side, as we had for many years in the past. No. I asked the Regent Lord, not the Grand Magister. Well then, let the Regent Lord deign that I am fit to speak. Okay, Lens Flare Boy. I dare say that we shall hear your opinion eventually in any case. Go on and say your piece. Did Modera send you with a statement before you left, Ethos? You do not exactly sound like yourself. Your words drip of her false diplomacy. At least she dares not set her foot here herself. She has that much of sense. Modera agrees with me on these matters. She agrees with you, or rather you agree with her, for I doubt they would send you here to speak on their behalf had you half a mind of your own. Some strong words there. Damn it, Ramath. Do you have anything useful to say besides personal insults? You are blind. They bit off more than they can chew, and now they find themselves facing Arthas. They are afraid, as they should be. They need aid beyond their own capacity, and to whom have they always turned regarding matters of the arcane? This guy's smoking something, man. Check out that portrait. Oh yes, to us. The members of the Kirin Tor will swear up and down that you are indispensable to them, that your skills are invaluable. The moment you become inconvenient, you will be discarded. Quel'Thalas and the Kirin Tor have been allied for over 2,000 years. Since we joined formally with the Horde, things have been strained, but... Since we joined the Horde, of course. That's somewhat awkward, I imagine. And do you remember exactly why we sought to join the Horde? A monumental betrayal. In Dalaran, beneath the ever-watchful eyes of the Kirin Tor. They really had nothing to do with... I assume you mean that the Kirin Tor did nothing. Did nothing to prevent it. Did nothing to stop it. And instead left us to rot in the prisons beneath the city many of us called home, as much as ever we did Silvermoon. The Kirin Tor find themselves under new leadership. That is a lie, and you know it. Ronin may be their figurehead, but Modera and Ansirum remain on the council. These are the same people who happily turned their eyes away when Garithos was sentenced us to death. Holy shit, I can't speak. They can all rot in hell, or better yet, in Arthas' army as Scourge. Despite your obvious disdain for the Kirin Tor, you seem to be rather well-informed, Grand Magister. Which would be one of the reasons I am the Grand Magister of Quel'Thalas, and you are not, I would think. And as Grand Magister, I will never order my Magi to service in the name of the Kirin Tor. That is enough. You do not possess the authority to issue such ultimatums. It will be my decision whether to send our forces to Northrend, and if I so choose, you and your Magi will follow orders. Now that it is clear that to continue this will result in nothing more than petty bickering, and I, however, do not care to waste any more of my time. I would hazard the Ranger General feels similarly. I am not sure. I believe his intentions are honest. I just don't know how far we can trust honest intentions, even among our own people. I worry that if we give him authority to act on our behalf, he would, intentionally or not, promise something from us that I am not willing to give. Then again, if enough Cinderay follow him to Dalaran, he will end up their de facto leader anyway, and I am loath to have him acting as such without obligation to the crown, Silvermoon. It would be better if Ramath were not so stubborn. He lived in Dalaran for a long time. He bears the Archmage title himself, you know. He has enough experience with the Kirin Tor to know how to handle them, and enough loyalty to his country that I believe we could trust him. He would be an ideal liaison for Ethos. Well, that is a strange thing to hear you speak well of Ramath. Ramath? Ramath? I don't know. I never approved of that business with Muru, but that is behind us now, and we have no more reason to doubt him. If he were going to betray us, he would have done it with Kael'thas. Yeah, I forgot Ramath was even a character. He must have been in the early stages of the campaign, because I do remember him from somewhere. So what do you think? What should we do about Ethos and Dalaran? Ethos considers himself a member of the Kirin Tor, and I can think of a number of others who would be pleased to bear that mantle again as well. If the Kirin Tor want to admit Blood Elves, we cannot stop them from doing so. No, we cannot. However, it is my instinct that we should avoid official involvement in the war against the Scourge. Ethos should report to us periodically, and we should give him a clear set of boundaries. But those who wish to offer their services may do so under the banner of the Kirin Tor, not Quel'Thalas. What was that you said this morning about being a Farstrider? You sound more like a king every day, Lorthamar. My lord, Verisa... Yeah, Verisa Windrunner has arrived as you requested. She is waiting for you at the entrance to Silvermoon. Alright then. Reposition myself so that I'm
The sheer audacity of
in better position to actually move around and use the mouse. Seems like a very exposition-heavy mission, though. It's not really much of a mission. It's just performing the duties of a king as opposed to the duties of a Farstrider, as has been articulated several times now. We're given... We don't have cash or items to sell in the first place. I don't know why we're able to walk up against those things, but the big arrow appeared in one of those cutscenes where we were walking back. Probably could be disabled for the cinematic purposes. I don't know how exactly that would work, but something like that would probably be helpful. Verisa, welcome back to Silvermoon. Save the pleasantries, Lorthamar. We both know the only reason why I came is to see with my own eyes if your Magi speak the truth about the Sunwell. Verisa, please, your people are free to return to Quel'Thalas. For years we rotted outside, thrown out of our homes at your behest because we refused to suck magic from living things like vampires. And now you want to offer aid. After all we have been through, now you offer it. There's a big, massive seam in her mouth. Looks like Joker or something. I could not afford to lead a nation divided, and we both know it, Verisa, but times have changed. Nothing has changed. As soon as I'm done with my business here, I'll be returning to Dalaran, so please, Lorthamar, don't even try to convince me you and your people have changed. Wow. Not very happy. Okay. Now what? Do I follow them? Where is the Sunwell, anyways? Must be somewhere. Return to the Sun Fury Spire. Listen, Lorthamar, there's nothing audacious about right-clicking and then following your movements. Nothing. So this Cinderay is... Yeah, this is a single quest and it's just being updated. You know, one thing I would like to see more of... I understand why people don't do it, but I would like to see more campaign makers not create all of the quests that are undiscovered, that are available. I feel like it would be more interesting if we explored the entire map and like found more stuff, as opposed to just telling us sort of what everything was all about, you know? Well, what did you expect? How did she react? His face occasionally bleeds through that mask of his in the portrait. 5 years ago, I threw them out of their homes. They had fought every bit as fiercely as anyone in Quel'Thalas today. How do you think she reacted? Verisa Windrunner is married to the new leader of the Kirin Tor. She is not fond of me or those I represent. I had hoped, because you were a ranger. I thought maybe you could help us bridge that gap. I suppose not. You suppose correctly. Yes. Lord Theron, your presence is requested in the hall. I am not available. My lord, the Banshee Queen will not wait. No, of course she will not. Show me to her. Oh. You can't just walk through tables and chairs. Lady Sylvanas. I have just returned from Orgrimmar. Arthas has dared to strike at the heart of the Horde. Yes, I've heard. The attack was successfully repelled, but Arthas is only toying with us. We must bring the war to him. Warchief Thrall at last sees what we have long known. The Horde prepares for war, and the Cinderay, Lorthamar, constitute a portion of the Horde. Lorthamar, we go to destroy Arthas once and for all. I appreciate that you and Warchief Thrall wish us to join you on the initial front in Northrend, but we are stretched too thin. We already have received a similar request from the Kirin Tor, but I cannot in good faith send our forces north, since the events at Quel Danas. This is not a request, Lorthamar. You will send troops. They will accompany the Forsaken. Sylvanas, we have just fought a civil war. What can we possibly have to give? Have you forgotten who is responsible for the state of Quel'Thalas in the first place? Who is ultimately to blame? Well, I, at least, have not. My vengeance will not be denied, and you will give what I demand of you. The Cinderay Rangers and Magi, as well as the Blood Knights. We cannot spare them, Sylvanas. Then you can hide here like a beaten dog, if that is indeed your will, Lorthamar. Though if you believe anything can come from it, you are a fool. Do you think Arthas will be content to ignore you, whilst you wait here and lick your wounds? Do you think I will tolerate such cowardice? For a while now, my people have stood guard in these lands, and it is by my hand that you have any place within the Horde. You will aid us in Northrend, or I shall cease to aid you in Quel'Thalas. Send my exhausted people to find more death in Northrend, or risk losing Quel'Thalas to the Scourge once again? There is no choice here, Sylvanas. I will expect your forces at the Undercity in 2 weeks, Lorthamar. I will not be disappointed in this. Yes, my lady. How can you do this? This is blackmail. It was you who wanted to help more than we asked for. We never asked for more of your assistance. You gave it of your own free will. How can you call yourselves our allies in one breath and hold our lands for ransom in the next? You were never required to accept my offers. You chose to. All I ask for now is the will and power to defeat our greatest foe. Is there anything else you wish to discuss, Sylvanas? No, I am finished here, Lorthamar. Sharelaran, Sylvanas. Lorthamar, you cannot seriously... We do not... You heard her, Romath. We go to Northrend or we lose Forsaken support, and likely the rest of the Hordes as well. So we go. There are still soldiers in the infirmaries from Quel Danas. We have not even held a proper service for the dead. By the Sunwell, Lorthamar. We do not have a choice, Romath. Do you not understand that? We do as Sylvanas asks, or we quite possibly lose all of Quel'Thalas south of the Elrondar River. So let it go. Let it go? Do you know how many elves, Cinderai and Quel'Darai alike, died to defend that land? And you say I should just let it go. They would rather have died in vain than have given their lives just so you could turn into nothing more than the puppet of some monster in the name of their sacrifice. Do not fall for her threats, Lorthamar. She will only use you. Lorthamar, are you alright? I am fine, Ewan. Don't worry. Send word to Lady Liadrin. Tell her what has been decided. You and Romath will prepare your forces as well. It will be done immediately. If you are going to Northrend, will you also support the Kirin? The Kirin Tor can do whatever they damn well please. It is no concern of mine. But seeing as any number of Cinderay forces will shortly be heading north, I expect many of them will likely end up on your doorstep. You will do what you can to aid them, Ethos. Now go find Romath. I am sure he will have much use for you. I suppose you should be pleased, Archmage. It is true I wish to acquire your support in Northrend, Regent Lord, but not on these terms. Believe me when I say I would rather have seen you agree of your own free will. Not because of... My free will remains intact, thank you. And it is still by my will that Quel'Thalas has ruled. Of course, my lord. I have a real reading text out loud problem, and I am in the wrong kind of business for that problem to be. Oh, man. Well, that was about 20 minutes of right-clicking 3 times. Congratulations, you have reached the end of Rise of the Blood Elves version 3.0. I hope you enjoyed playing this campaign as much as I enjoyed creating it. I would like to thank Hive Workshop for it being a great website with lots of amazing people, great resources, and guides that helped me create this campaign. My friend Tina for helping with the story, and Blizzard Entertainment for creating this great game. If you're interested in what happens with Sylvanas and the Forsaken next in the storyline, try out my other campaign, Curse of the Forsaken. All right, well, maybe that'll be something we attempt further down the line. I'm sure it will. So that was Rise of the Blood Elves by Tomb Raider. I honestly, I could be completely like a big fool and find out that Rise of the Blood Elves was actually like part 2 or something of a series of campaigns by Tomb Raider. I did no research at all before starting it, so for all I know, that is the case. Overall, I think this was the campaign that so far I've had the most fun playing in all of like my time spent in Warcraft 3. I will have to give Tomb Raider's other campaigns a try in the near future to see if they hold up to that standard, I suppose. One of the other things that I do plan on doing pretty soon is live streaming the work that or the videos, basically. So instead of recording them locally, I'll be streaming them live on my Tuesday streams, which you can catch at 2:30, 14:30 Eastern Time, if you use military time. And the main idea behind that, originally I was playing like Halo Wars 2 and other real games, you know, as opposed to fan-made projects, but I figure we can keep this channel mostly centered around fan-made stuff and use those extra days in my daily upload schedule for more content from the live stream. So if you do plan on tuning in to that, just know that you can probably find me playing StarCraft 1 and Warcraft 3 custom campaigns, maybe the occasional maybe the occasional StarCraft 2 project as well, depending on how I feel. But generally speaking, I think that I have high hopes for the next campaign, Curse of the Forsaken. I generally don't like the Forsaken as a faction, but hopefully, beyond the lore elements of them, they will be enjoyable to play. So I guess look out for that as time goes on. I would like to do some sort of like retrospective on this project and see, you know, maybe talk about ideas that I have or whatever. But generally speaking, I don't really know what exactly my takeaway is going to be from it. Because even though, like I said, I really enjoyed it for the most part, I think there's a lot of things that I can point to as stuff that could be improved. I don't know if Tomb Raider's interested in updating the campaign again. It's already on 3.0, so presumably it's gone through several fixes and apparently 2 full version reworks. So I don't know if he's interested in doing a 4.0. I would imagine not. But I don't know. I think I could probably create something that would at least be helpful so that he has stuff to look out for when he works on future projects, if he indeed does plan on working on any future campaigns. And hopefully it's useful for other campaign designers and stuff. That is generally what I'd like to do, is create content that's analytical in a sense that helps people look at flaws that I see or potential issues that could be improved upon that aren't as strong as they could be. And hopefully that helps people out is really all I can hope for. But overall, I think this is a pretty solid project, maybe a little bit longer than it needed to be. I'll probably go into more detail if I do end up making that retrospective. Until then, you can check out another video tomorrow. I don't even know what it's going to be. It's a surprise. So check it out. And leave your feedback for Tomb Raider about the campaign, about this mission in particular, however you feel like, in the comments section below. And I will see you guys next time.